is 6:48. This is your morning in 8 minutes.
A rainy start to your Thursday. We do want to get right over to Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley with the latest as you get ready to head out the door. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning. Yeah, a lot of us going to deal with that rain head on at the moment as it's straight up through the valley. Just paused on those radar and clouds for you here so you could better see that it's cloudy, crossful, and humid. Meanwhile, at the moment, it's rainy through Maryville, Knoxville, Gatlinburg, Anderson County. Actually getting a little bit heavier there up I-75 into Campbell County. Zoomed in a little easier to see moderate to heavy rain in parts of Blount County. Same story, severe. You got the heavier rain west side. It's all moving east-northeast. So now we've got this band of heavy rain up through Knoxville. I want to track the backside for you here because, well, the way I see it is if you can wait a few minutes and then leave and not have to drive in the rain, that always helps. But that means Lenoir City, it's going to clear your area here in just about 5 minutes. It'll clear Karnes about 7:15, Clinton about 7:30, Halls closer to 7:40. And again, that's the back edge of this batch of rain that also drives up through La Follette, through Stearns, and continues to move east-northeast. So far, we've collected a few hundredths, even a quarter and a third of an inch of rain. But of course, there's more on the way. We'll talk more about how much more for your day ahead coming up here in just a moment.
And we want to get a final look at your first alert traffic on this rainy Thursday morning. We did have a multi-vehicle crash on 40 eastbound right around Paper Mill Drive. You can see they got those left lanes reopened, all those vehicles off into the right-hand shoulder. But that rain making for slick conditions and low visibility along your commute. That incident still leaving some lingering congestion as you're heading toward downtown Knoxville. Want to give yourself a few extra minutes. If you are traveling on 40 westbound, we're still seeing this slowdown on I-40 West in Roane County right near Highway 27. No word of any lanes are blocked in that area, but you can see that delay if you are traveling west. The good news is those are the only main incidents slowing you down, but again, want to have those few extra minutes getting out the door. Well, investigators continue to search for a motive in a mass shooting that claimed the lives of 19 children and 2 teachers at a Texas elementary school.
Many questions remain about how or why the school shooting unfolded. Governor Greg Abbott said the 18-year-old sent private online messages just before he started his rampage at Robb Elementary. Police say he shot his grandmother before going to the school and opening fire on a 4th grade class. One student was in the classroom directly next to the room where it all happened.
A teacher came to our room and warned us that it was happening, so we just ran to the back of the class and hid, and then we hid behind desks and chairs.
Investigators say he was inside the school for up to an hour before law enforcement came into the room where he was barricaded and killed him. President Biden is expected to travel to Uvalde in the coming days.
Here in East Tennessee, plans are already in the works to improve security for the next school year in Knox County schools. The district is adding 22 school resource security officers, bringing the total to almost 125 officers. And around the state, employees at a Nashville elementary school became heroes recently when they stopped a potentially violent attack at the school. A teacher says her kids were going inside for recess when a suspect jumped over the playground's fence and ran toward the kids. The 3 women, a teacher, a bookkeeper, and a secretary, tackled an intruder and held him down until police arrived. They held the intruder down for more than 10 minutes, waiting on officers. Continuing coverage following the deaths of 3 people in the Bahamas, including a couple from East Tennessee. Sandals Beach Resort is taking new measures to protect its guests.
All 3 died from carbon monoxide poisoning. The resort now adding carbon monoxide detectors into all guest rooms. All 3 were found dead inside their villas. Since their deaths, the company says safety experts have conducted a comprehensive review of all systems among the resort. Meanwhile, 2 suspects are facing felony theft charges after being accused of stealing 12 mattresses. Jack Tumeyer and Danielle Daniel are accused of stealing a dozen M. Lily mattresses valued at $24,000 from Foothills Brokerage on Western Avenue. Investigators say the 2 were trying to sell them out of a truck at a flea market in Alcoa. Both were eventually arrested on Tuesday morning. And new details this morning, reality TV star Josh Duggar has been sentenced to more than 12 years in federal prison on child pornography charges. Even after his release from prison, Duggar will be under close supervision for 20 years and will not be allowed to be left alone with minors, including his own children. Duggar's legal team says he continues to maintain his innocence and plans to appeal his conviction.
The Jif peanut butter recall is expanding. More items are being pulled off of store shelves in connections to this recall. 45 products have been recalled already due to possible salmonella contamination, and now there are more. The FDA says fruit snack trays and celery snack cups that contain Jif peanut butter also being recalled. We have more information about which brands are pulling their products right now in the WVLT News app.
And around the nation, we're about a week away from the Abbott baby formula factory in Michigan reopening its doors again.
The factory shutting down sparked the nationwide baby formula shortage. The FDA commissioner told a House subcommittee part of the FDA's delay in inspecting the plant was because of a COVID-19 outbreak at the Abbott facility. An investigation revealed standing water and cracks in key equipment inside of the facility that could lead to bacterial contamination. The facility is set to reopen its doors on June 4th after reaching a deal with the FDA. Abbott executives say after the company restarts production, it will be able to produce more formula than before the recall.
Ford Motors settling with some states over misleading claims on some of its vehicles. The company will pay over $19 million to states for advertising claims about fuel economy and payload capacity. The settlement is part of a group action of 40 state attorneys generals that Ford violated consumer protection laws.
Happening today, the 3 Democratic candidates for Tennessee governor will be holding a debate tonight on the UT campus. Carnita Atwater, Jason Martin, J.B. Smiley Jr. will all discuss the issues surrounding our state. It starts at 7:30 in the Alumni Memorial Building. It is free to attend. And WVLT proud to be your official station of the Vols. This morning, the Vols baseball team is scheduled to play their first round game of the SEC tournament.
Eventually, they will play this game. Last night had to be canceled due to bad weather. The Vols will play Vanderbilt 30 minutes after whenever Texas A&M in Florida finish. That game's supposed to start at 10:30 this morning. This will be the 4th time the Vols play Vandy this season after sweeping the Commodores in Nashville earlier this year. We'll let you know what time they play on the WVLT News app once we get word.
And in your first alert forecast, of course, more rounds of rain and storms are moving around the whole region. That's actually why today's so rainy. These batches are just lifting up, basically feeding off the Gulf and spreading out some heavy rainfall. Much of our area catches about an inch of rain up through the Central Valley and east. You can see a band of heavier rainfall, 1 to even 2+ inches coming along that western side of the valley up to the Tennessee-Kentucky line. You've got another 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch in many parts of the plateau. Again, this spike up here is just where you could easily have some more ponding on roads by the end of the day. And then into far northeast Tennessee, you can see around 1 inch reaching up, and then the mountain top. So that flood watch is where you have another spike up to 2+. And the flood watch in the Smokies because you've had more rain lately while the rest of us were dry. So most of our areas celebrating this much needed rain. Sitting in the mid to upper 60s area wide, it's just creating these bands of rain that lift through. Right now we're drenching Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Williamsburg. Again, that lifts east northeast, so we can catch some lulls late morning to midday, pop up to a midday high of 80 degrees. This afternoon then gets cooled down as more on and off rain and storms move through at that 80% coverage. We have a few showers to track for you tomorrow with that cold front, but at least that starts the weekend a little cooler, a little more comfortable.
Yeah, I'll take that, especially with the heat we've had recently
Yes.
as well, Heather. All right, 6:56. We're going to continue tracking the roads as well. We'll see you over on WVXX.